Okay, we'll welcome Gonzaga to the dais. Please remind your cell phones if you could put those in the off or mute position, and no flash photography nor any videotaping in here. We have Coach Few along with Jonathan Williams, Przemek Karnowski, Jordan Matthews, and Nigel Williams-Goss. We'll have Coach give us an opening statement, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Awesome performance by the guys tonight. Just an incredible feeling of elation and satisfaction that it's been a long, hard journey to get this program here. We've had a great ride all the way through it, and I'm just so happy for these guys up here, everybody in the locker room, and all the former players that put the Zag jersey on, and just couldn't be happier, just for all those guys, and had a good feeling all day today. I thought we played really, really well, and looking at the numbers, it's the first time I've looked at the numbers. I mean, we won it with our defense again. I mean, held those guys. They were a red-hot team, shooting 53%, and they shoot 35. So our defense has got us this far all year, and it basically won all 4 games in the tournament for us. So, great feeling.
Go on the left against the curtain.
Jim Meehan of the Spokesman Review for Nigel. About 55 seconds left. You kind of went off by yourself over at midcourt, and it looked like you were really fighting the emotions. What was going through your head?
Just like you said, it was just really emotional. Just had to thank God first and foremost for leading me down this path, and just thought about the journey that I took to get here from transferring and sitting out, and having ankle surgery last year, and just battling everything that we went through this year. We had a plan for ourselves. We believed from day one when we all stepped foot on this campus that we could go to Phoenix. We didn't shy away from setting that goal. And we bought in. We knew it wasn't going to be easy, but we knew if we put in the work and we bought into the system here and listened to Coach, what he had to say for us, that we could do it. And to be 50 seconds away and to kind of check off that last goal that I had, when I originally got here, was just a lot of emotion.
I've got third row on the left.
Yes, Mark. Dave Lewis, KCBS. Ran into one of your former players, David Pendergraft, one of many Zags here today. How much of this also belongs to those guys that laid the foundation for your program?
A big chunk of it. And I know these guys feel the same way. There's a foundation. I've been there 28 years. In my first year on staff, we won 4 Division I games. And, this wasn't even possible. And each year we got better and better, and then we got really, really good. Pendo was on those teams that were really good, but never quite got here. But that's what makes this culture so special, is those guys, those former players, the Pendos, the Turiafs, the Olynyks, the Morrisons, the Dickows, the Pangoses and Bells. I mean, these guys know it. They're still connected to these guys, even though they never played together. And our culture is just so strong. And this was a culture win and a culture statement, and couldn't be prouder.
Go in the second row on the left.
Question for you, Jonathan. I can see you look very pensive right now. What are your thoughts right now after something like that? I mean, all the experience in the program and where you guys are right now.
Like Nigel said, I just want to thank God, from sitting out, and it was just a crazy feeling to be able to go to the Final Four. As far as my situation, sitting out a whole year and coming from a losing program and just now making it to the Final Four, it's incredible. I just want to thank God, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my brothers, and was for Coach Freed and the other coaching staff. So I just want to thank them. So.
Go in the middle, about fifth row back.
Mark, Ron Krojcik from the San Francisco Chronicle. You kind of touched on your emotion at the start of your opening statement, but with about a minute to go when you sent the other guys in and these guys came off and you hugged Nigel pretty hard, what was sort of the emotion of that when you
tears
could exhale?
Absolute tears of joy. I just thanked him, said God bless you for believing in us, and God bless Three and Shem and Jordan. I mean, they all took a leap of faith. That's what it is. It's a leap of faith. They all had great options, and they believed in the culture I just spoke of. They believed in our staff, and that's a powerful responsibility to have to take on. So it kind of weighs on you, but now that we've delivered on it, I mean, it's just a total feeling of elation and happiness for these guys. And so, yeah, tears of joy and just makes your heart warm to 350 degrees Celsius or something. So good stuff.
Stay on that road just a couple over to the left.
Jacob Thorpe, spokesman.
Maybe it's Fahrenheit. It's been a while since I was in class.
Jacob Thorpe, Spokesman Review. Nigel, a couple of weeks ago, you wrote a piece for the Players Tribune about what it would mean to take this program to the Final Four. I'm wondering if you thought about that or read it or reflected it all heading into this game, and what has the group text been like these last couple of days?
Yeah, I mean, I thought about it since as soon as the West Virginia game was over. We were finally 40 minutes away from our ultimate goal, and I've said from day one that getting to the Final Four, as bad as I wanted to get there personally, I wanted it first and foremost for Coach. I said that there was no one more deserving as a coach, that hasn't been to a Final Four. So I wanted to do it for him, and I wanted to do it for all the Gonzaga supporters across the country, especially in Spokane, and the past players that he spoke of, because, this really is a family, and, I wanted to do it more for them than I wanted to do for myself. So I definitely thought a lot about it, and, again, I'm just so happy for everyone who believes in Gonzaga basketball, and I'm just happy for everyone.
Go on the left against the curtain.
Stuart Mandel from Fox Sports. Mark, of all the great teams you've had, what are maybe some unique qualities about this one that allowed them to reach this milestone?
That stands out to me is, and I don't think they get enough credit for this, is how new we were to each other in September. I think Perk had been here, Shem had been here, Silas had been here. And that's pretty much it. And then Shem didn't play the year before, So, I walked out there on the practice floor. It's like we've never, ever started with this many, new people, as far as meshing them together. And I think they deserve all the credit in the world for they are as connected as any team we've had that has played together for 4 years. We've had some classes that have redshirted and stayed together for 4 years. These guys are every bit as connected as them. And, hey, they've proved it. Everybody's asking me, is this your best team in November? That's not fair. It's not fair in December. It's not fair in January, But they're 36-1. They're going to a Final Four. Absolutely. Yeah, it is. But that's not taking anything from those other ones. It's hard to get to here where we are, and there were some other teams that were every bit as good and deserving and all that and just didn't catch a break. So I feel for them, but I'm also, I know those guys on those teams are so happy for these guys. Have been getting their texts and their calls these last couple weeks. Some of them, Pangos is playing over in Lithuania, and he texted me late at night and all that. That's the best part of being a coach is stuff like that.
Second. Mark?
Yeah, hi. Mark Purdy, San Jose Mercury News. Mark, yes, the first time for Gonzaga in the Final Four, but there hasn't been a team from the West in the Final Four since 2008. You're the first WCC team to make it since University of San Francisco in 1956. I wonder if you could expand your perspective on that a little bit in terms of, basketball in the West, what this means,
and still got Oregon playing, right?
Yeah, could be Oregon. Yeah. And does this say something about basketball in the West now, given Oregon and you guys, and now getting here, what it took to get here versus after this 8-year gap or whatever, 9-year gap?
Yeah, I think it has a tendency sometimes to be cyclical and just, maybe the classes that are coming through here and everybody's lost a lot of guys early. We lost Domus last year, and obviously Sean loses guys every year down at Arizona. I felt all year Arizona and us played early in the season, and I had an opportunity to watch UCLA. Thought they were fabulous. Didn't get to watch Oregon as much, but I could just see Arizona, growing and growing and growing, and I felt they were certainly, somebody that we were going to have to deal with eventually again. But I thought all 4 of those teams were good enough and deserving to make a Final Four. But it's luck and breaks and matchups, and if it's not your night. So the cool thing about these guys, though, sometimes we've made it our night. when it wasn't. Like the other night, I mean, we were not playing good against West Virginia. A lot of that has to do with West Virginia, but these guys better more than any of my teams made it their night because of their defense, you know, and they've hung their hat on that all year, and they've bought in and believed, and like I said, it won every game going back to the South Dakota State game. So I think that's probably, in a nutshell. And as far as just the West thing, I don't know. I think it's just cyclical, and we've certainly been good enough during that time to get there, and we just didn't get it done, and these guys did.
Second row, left, Josh.
Mark, why was Przemek the first one up the ladder when you cut down the nets, and what has he meant to your program?
I mean, his story is the ones that they mean everything. All these stories mean everything. I mean, you got guys giving up roles and things at other places where they could have stayed, and they leave the comfort like Jordan did and Nigel did and Three did, and to believe, and because they want to win and they want to do this. And Shem left, I mean, his family, I mean, his mom and his dad, who he's really tight with, to come all the way across the world. You want to talk about belief now. I mean, that's nuts. I mean, and he believed in us, and then just what he's been through. And I think you guys are all aware of this. I mean, he has more wins than any player in the history of college basketball. I mean, it's unbelievable. Am I right with that? Right? Yeah, I mean, he has more wins than any player in the history. I mean, the great, Grant Hill and Leitner, all these dudes. I mean, it's Przemek Karnowski's number one in college basketball. I mean, so I think that says it there. He's an awesome teammate. What he went through last year with his back injury, where we didn't think he was ever going to walk again, normally and just function. I mean, getting in and out of a car and doing things like that to now moving and playing the way he is, it's a miracle, and it's as good a story as I've ever been associated with.
Third row left.
Yeah, Mark, you mentioned your defense, and obviously you held them to 35%, but only 27 in the second half. Did you make some adjustment to really drop the hammer on them?
We cleaned up some things. I think we've been really good in ball screen coverage, and we were screwing up a couple ball screen coverages early. And once we were able to get into half, draw it on the board, show it to them, they did a great job of coming out and executing it. We made a couple tweaks in the zone as far as where we wanted to, to press up on. And then I thought we were better at least controlling transition. We gave them too many transition baskets in that first half. So those were the things we talked about, and like these guys have done all year, I mean, they just nailed it. Whether it's out of a timeout or out of halftime or out of a walkthrough, their attention to detail has been just, magnificent all year.
In the fourth row.
Mark, Chris Mack talked about how your passing really made the difference finding open threes. They've defended the three so well in the tournament. Talk about what you guys did to get so many good looks.
Well, that starts with Przemek. Okay, I mean, you're going to have to make a decision. Do you want to double him, or do you want? Because he's going to find guys. He's very comfortable. He's kind of like the Magic Johnson of 5 men in there as far as what he likes to do, and he can throw out. He can handle a double team. J3's gotten a lot better, and he's more comfortable in traffic now, looking for each other. And then when you throw Tilly in there, Tilly's got an excellent feel for the game. And then you got to make a decision with Zach Collins. You want to double him, or what do you want to do there? So all the bigs can pass. They play well together. And then, when the guards step up and make shots like they did tonight, I think it makes it pretty hard to guard.
Standing left by the speaker.
And guys, when you were in a man, I think Jonathan and Nigel blew it quite a bit. Can you talk about what you tried to do against him and what you tried to take away from him?
Well, obviously he's a great player, and he was coming to the game red hot. So, and I think we said it before the game that we were going to try to limit his easy baskets. They run a lot of action where they get a lot of backdoor cuts or open looks from three, and we really wanted to take those away and said the points that he does get are going to have to be worked for on isolation, just really good offensive moves. And but defense is a team thing, and it starts with our coaching staff getting us prepared and dialed in to scouting reports night in and night out. And we always say if we go out there and execute their game plan, we feel like we'll have a great chance to win. And just a credit to us buying into the game plan and for them drawing up something that we could follow.
In the middle, fifth row back.
Jordan, can you kind of reflect on, I mean, you've been pretty open about how tough a decision it was to leave Cal and how the Final Four was sort of part of the selling point of coming to Gonzaga. And now that you've achieved it, can you kind of reflect on your journey here the last 12 months?
Yeah, it wasn't really a selling point. It was one of those things that everybody told me, you could be part of something special. It wasn't one of the things where I was like, okay, well, if we don't go to the Final Four, then it was a waste. This season has been such a great season. Just being around these guys every day has been nothing short of amazing. I mean, you go to practice, and you get to see so many different personalities and hang out with them. It was different. It was difficult leaving Cal, but, I mean, I'm wearing the hat now. It paid off, so.
Going to go in the fourth row, far left.
Nigel, do you think the different routes many of you took to this team, the journeys you've made, the adversity overcome by some of the players with injuries, caused the team to bond together in a different way than the group that just comes in as freshmen together and plays 4 straight years?
Yeah, I definitely think, our journeys and our paths made us, come together and create that bond. But like Coach said earlier, like we came here to win. I think we all had, we're on our way to really good individual careers where were we at, but we had a bigger vision for ourselves, and we wanted to be something bigger than ourselves and wanted to be a part of a winning culture. So from day one, we stepped, onto campus with winning in mind, and I just feel like our whole team has been pulling the rope in the same direction all season long. And I think when you do that and kind of put the individual stuff aside, that's when you have a chance to do something special. So, it was no secret that we were coming here to do something as a collective unit. If we wanted to do things individually, we would have just stayed where we were at. So, I'm just glad that it paid off for all of us, and thankful for the returning guys for accepting us the way that they did.
Okay, we'll stay in the middle, third row.
Sandeep Chanak with the Spartan Daily. Question for Shem. So over the past few days, you've talked about your journey from coming overseas. So now you've coming from overseas, going through the back injury. How does it feel to now be going to the Final Four with this team?
I mean, it feels amazing. I've been here 5 years. This year has been amazing, and then just like everyone mentioned before, just working with this team, with these coaches. Everyone is dialed in every day. I think our coaches do a great job preparing us, and I think all the guys take the game plan really good, and we go out there and compete as well as we can. And just for me individually, I'm just really happy. I've never really been to the third week of the madness, so I'm excited to go to Phoenix, and we still have some work to do.
We'll go fourth row on the left.
Yeah, Mark, following up on what he just said about next week, all the attention's been on getting to the Final Four. Now you're going. How do you expect your team to respond when you get to the semifinals?
I think they're going to respond like they've responded all year. I mean, I don't know anything different. I mean, they've just been unbelievably consistent. We'll have a great time tonight, and I'll get up and go to church tomorrow, and then rest up, heal up, and then I think practices will be as good as they've ever been, and they've been pretty phenomenal all year, and we'll go down there to try to win the thing. So impressed with how Villanova did last year, and we need to take the same approach. But these guys don't know anything different. That's how they've been all year. Basically, we've had about 5 or 7 minutes of not very good basketball where we got away from what we have done against BYU, or we'd be looking at 37-0 right now. So I don't know any different, so I don't expect any different. I think we'll be excited, and hopefully we keep shooting it like we did tonight.
Go in the front row on the left.
Question for any of you guys, and for you also, Coach. When Mark was asking about first time for a WCC team since the 50s to make the the Final Four, does this serve as validation for the program and for a new standard going forward?
Definitely not. Gonzaga's been a big-time program 20 years now. I mean, people look at Gonzaga, and they know what it is. They know what that bulldog means. I mean, it's not validation now we made a Final Four. Look at all the past great teams with Matt Bolden, Adam Morrison, Matt Santangelo, Pargo. I mean, those are just great guys, great players on fantastic teams. The Final Four doesn't validate or discredit a season. It's not a end-all, be-all. Gonzaga's been a great program, and we're just happy to keep carrying the torch.
All right, we'll do one more here. Mark?
No, Shem, I just wonder, what time does the Final Four come on in Poland? And will people be up watching it? Are there watching parties? Do people know know what it is? Or?
Today's game was at 11:10 p.m. So you know, I know a lot of people are watching just from the streams online, and you know, I really appreciate all the support I get from all the people from Poland, and I'm just happy more people follow Gonzaga and NCAA in general in Poland.
Good Polish dogs being served. Pretty strong beer. The dudes have a good time at 11 p.m. watching the guys.
So they know what the Final Four is over there?
Oh yeah. They know what NCAA tournament is. They know what Final Four is. You know, they're. I know back in the day, some Polish guy won the championship with Providence. I don't know what year, but I think that was the last year someone went to Final Four from Poland. So you know, I'm just really excited about this opportunity.
All right, thank you, folks. Thank you, gentlemen.